What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again, returning with our Bofuri Set review. Today we are doing red. Joined today by Andy, Brian, and Tyler had to drop out momentarily, so we got Brandon coming in, filling in.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hi, hello. I'm here, yes.
And
Who's this character again? I forget her name.
Yeah, we'll let Andy go. It's me.
She's me. She's like the little characters you make on the Wii.
M-I-I.
Oh, she's the one who spelled like M-I-I like me. That's so clever how they made that. That's really smart. How's that not copyright infringement though? Like, how they not get sued?
I think it's like normal. I don't know how.
Or maybe they're just Japanese and that's the way they spell.
I'm not a name scientist.
All right. Yeah. Let's get to it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got this me from the Nintendo Wii. Your other level 0 or lower front row character. Center
slot, yeah.
Center slot character gets 1,000 power all the time, but only level 0. It's interesting. Brainstorm, A1 Restless, salvage for each climax. Don't really think it's that good as far as brainstorms go. I don't really like that first effect. It seems a little bit too narrow. Only good in the early game.
I think that first effect is actually really strong in this deck.
What are you trying to hit with that?
Okay, your runner in center lane's 4,500 mill runner.
The accelerate runner.
Your level 0 45 goes to 55. Your other oversizes go to 45s. Your climax swapper goes to 4K. It like randomly makes your 0 lineup like super rude, and I think that we can say that after playing into Sal 10th a bunch, these very incremental power buffs that like make these cards that have other effects also just like pretty stupid end up being like strong to the point where they get put on choice lists, like the Asuna center runner, because it was a 3,500 marker center runner. It was already really good, but then because of the other card it was a 4K center runner.
That's a bit different.
I think that a 4,500 mill runner that can run to either things and be a 3,500 in the wings is
you need another card with it though that's just sitting in your back row. It's like a 2-card combo.
But it's a brainstorm, the same as the pan support, which was a card that would sit in your back row. It's like not bad to throw it down if it like creates a 4,500 mill runner that would
doesn't seem broken to me. It seems like after level 0 that loses a lot of utility.
Well, but you're also
compared to like a Remy brainstorm that's 500 every turn.
I think that when this effect is strong, it's strong enough to like give you like 1 or 2 pluses moving into level 1, which is really good.
I guess, but this set has True Ricky too, right?
It does.
It does.
So how many brainstorms do you really want to play? That sounds like you want to run 4 brainstorms then, so you
you just run 3
runner or something.
I think it's incidental, right? Because this is also a deck that wants to recur things. So the Sally being a search brainstorm is like slightly anti-synergistic, which is what I was continuing to run into. And like when I was playing Pan's Choice, I actually cut Sally because she wasn't really doing anything for that deck. I think that card is much more impactful in standby for a multitude of reasons. I think that this is probably the brainstormer of choice for most normal decks.
It probably is, but I guess what I'm saying is like the more Rickies you have, the more Rickies you run, the more like other ways to mill you run, like the Sally combo and whatever. Like I feel like you start trimming brainstorms then.
I mean,
like
most decks you run
brainstorm set.
I mean, most sets aren't these days. You run 2 or 3 because they give every set additional mill options outside of brainstorms. Gone are the days where you crutch on brainstorms for your actual mill.
Yeah.
They keep printing stronger stuff for that. But yeah, I think, it's just a better than average brainstorm. It's like a B+. It's no amazing first effect. I will agree with that, Andy. It's not a super amazing first effect.
Me and Brandon started talking at like the same point there. What were you going to say, Brandon?
I was just saying it seems fine. I mean, I know like when I had when I played my Dow days, which haven't really ended, but the Kermie brainstorm, it's only like 500 power, and even that's I love having that. And this is 1,000, which is even more. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually does matter, the amount of power some things like this will give you.
I think 1,000 is just enough to make things really stupid at 0. Where things become like unanswerable. Or like, what if you have the like Maple 4500 in the left lane and like an accelerated mill runner in the center lane, and this is down? Like 2 lanes of 4500 and one has evasion. Like it just becomes really rough for your opponent to do anything. Just like, I think it's valuable enough since it's already just a self-tap salvage brainstorm that you would run anyway.
Yeah, I used to play the Rest 2 salvage Megamine brainstorm in Darkness and Konosuba, which gave global 1000 power to other level 0 characters, and that felt incredibly powerful at level 0 when you wanted to win board with your big Darknesses, especially the ones that run. So I imagine with Bofuri, with their strong cards to hold board at 0 as well, this probably feels fine.
Yeah, I didn't want to imply that I thought it was like a bad card or anything.
It's just not as good as like a Remy or something, right?
It seems like, well, I don't even want to say not as good, but it just doesn't seem it falls off like later into the game. It's not like all game value.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
really
do anything.
Good early, but
doesn't do anything later. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. It sounded like you were hyping up, like, "Well, this is going to be hit on a choice list," and I don't.
No, I was
choice list.
I was saying like it can create situations that are similar to how that Asuna felt to play against, where like you had this 4K like center runner with a marker that just like you couldn't kill it. It always lived. There was nothing you could do about it, and this can like create a similar situation with the Sally Mill runner. Although it's not as good because you have to like clock yourself, and you have to see all these cards early. But it is something that can happen. It feels kind of similar.
Yeah, there are definitely decks and scenarios where this card is the pick over Sally for sure.
I think the Sally really depends on, do you really generate value from being able to play a colorless climax? Because the answer is typically no, unless you're standby.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because usually the card that you want to play to the field, which will not be colorless, has a climax combo with the same color climax.
Right, so you need the color anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's more important for standby. Alright, we can move on. Brian, I'm sorry you get this card.
Oh, this card, yep. 1-0 climax combo Maple with standby. When she's placed on the stage from your hand, gets 1500 power for the turn, gets up to 6k. Climax combo, at the beginning of your attack phase, if this card's in your front row, you can discard a copy of this card and sack the climax from your climax area. If you do, choose one of your other game characters, stand it, and salvage a character from your waiting room.
Ooh.
I'm going to speak for Tyler here, who was unable to make it for this video. This card is garbage.
Yeah, this card's really fucking bad.
Really?
I did the initial play test with it too.
What is the card that you have to discard?
A copy of itself.
A copy of itself,
yeah.
So
that alone makes it bad.
It means you have to play 4 of this trashy card in your standby deck. Like,
you don't have to play 4, maybe 3.
No, because you need 2 of it.
Get away with it.
Get
away with it.
2 in your hand in your first level 1 turn. No way.
I'd say
you have like 2 turns.
Okay, well then just level them. Just level them. Easy
no,
level 5.
Then you're not playing. A combo of a standby climax has to be so good to be worth playing. Like, it has to be like a level 1 combo of standby climax has to be so important because you literally generate more value by just like triggering and ramping out more 1/1s than you do by playing a combo. Like, you keep more hand.
Okay, so like I've seen other combos before like this though off standby, like very similar combos where it's like discard a card, stand the character. But
yes.
the payoff for having to discard a specific card is you salvage a card back, so you actually don't minus.
Yes, but this card is garbage. This card is a liability in a standby deck.
From what I've seen playing into it, it just feels too restrictive to try to desperately fish for 2 of them. Before your first level 1 turn.
It's not very big for 1, so it's not even a good standby target for 1.
No, it also doesn't even sit massive, yeah.
And then also on top of that, the fact that you have to discard itself seems real. Like, if it's a discard a card, I can maybe see merit of playing it.
You'd play 2.
It would still just be okay.
You'd play 2 only because you have Cocutus to standby out, so the attack is valuable, and I don't want to make it sound like getting your first attack on your Cocutus turn is invaluable, because it's like the most important thing. Like, that's the entire thing that keeps Overlord like a relevant deck. to a certain point is because they do that. However, when you play down that Eins to get the Cocytus, you just play down the Eins as a 2-1, and then he goes up to 8-5 if you're playing the game correctly, and then you also get Cocytus. So that also keeps your hand for like a much more achievable condition, which is 4 or more field, in my opinion, versus having to have 2 of these in hand and having to have Cocytus in my grave. Seems like a lot to put together for not much payoff when I could just play 8 standbys, because the set does have 8, and like play a bunch of trigger manipulation to ramp out 2 1/1s by level 1.
Right, or you hit level 1 and you get a million Cocytus for free anyway, and you just you don't get to attack the first turn it comes out. No big deal.
Can't you? I mean, is there an experience requirement in Bofuri?
Only for the Sally.
That's just like run 4 and then just level them when you get the chance.
Why would you dedicate slots in a standby deck to this card over like all the other cards you want to be running? But it's not. There's no point. Like, okay, so do you understand what we're saying? Like, there's not a point.
Yeah, I get it. The combo's like a little bit, maybe a little bit underwhelming, but I think it's fine still. I mean, you just run 4 copies of it, but then you just level them or clock them throughout the game.
Okay, I'll put it this way, Andy. It's if like I'm gonna have to show an alternative card. There are ways to put the thing you standby'd out into the front row on your opponent's turn if you'd like. That like it's just to pay 1. So like you can get the big wall.
I like that a little bit better.
You can get the big wall, and it's literally just it's like a 1/1 with the only line of text on it is stand and swap. So if you hit that at level 0, which is like not difficult to do, as like one of your 2 1/1s that you get out, because this deck is like absurd at ramping out 1/1s at 0. I think that's the thing it does stronger than pretty much any other standby deck, even Dow. Like really fast at getting out the 1/1s at 0. You can just put your Cocytus into the front row, get your open lane, so like you still get your stock. Because like, well, what if your opponent tri-fielded you and you're like responding?
I don't know. Does Bofuri have an actual Cocytus? I don't remember.
They do.
The next card.
It's a 10k for free. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like I did the playtesting with this. Tyler said the same thing. I thought that maybe it wasn't normal, but this is really fucking bad, and I would never play this card.
Yeah, if you're running high on standby triggers, you don't play this. You just play more 1/1 standby targets.
Again, like playing this doesn't give you anywhere near as much value as putting out an additional 1/1. It's like actively worse than getting additional 1/1 to the field.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And he gives it a B.
Yeah, my knee jerk on it's not that bad. I don't think it. I think it's probably not. It might not be the combo you play. I mean, you'd probably rather play the Sally combo instead of this, but
just run empty standbys.
But it seems like a fine card. I don't know. That's just like my first reaction on it. Seems like a B tier card to me. Seems all right, but not great.
Well.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Next.
Hey, well, fuck you. That's my opinion.
Your opinion's wrong. No, it's fine. Cocytus. If you're playing the game, it's a 10k. On direct attack, choose a character from your waiting room. Dock it. Weirdly, not needing the power condition is like pretty decent for the deck. If you're having a bad game, it makes protecting the Cocytus easier. So that you can win one lane and swing back. You have ways to generate act power in this set at level 1 with a 1/1. The colors of the cards in the Bofuri standby deck start to really not matter at all because of how the Sally brainstorm works. Makes all your climaxes colorless. Means you can always slam standby even if you don't have the color. So you can like level up blue, put down the 1/1 assist, standby the thing in the front row. You lose an attack, but then you get your stock back the next turn. Pretty normal play for an 8 standby deck to forfeit an attack. You also have ways to manipulate the top of your deck to like set your triggers to make sure you can like ramp more Cocytuses to the front row. This card also comes in SP. That's all I have to say.
Yep, SP Cocytus.
Big cock Cocytus.
As someone who's played a bit with Cocytus, I like the fact that this is just 3k constant.
Yeah.
So at max power, it sits 500 lower than Cocytus, because Cocytus gets to 10.5. This only gets to 10k, but I don't know how Bofuri's standby deck kind of functions. I just know with Overlord, it's kind of like if you don't get your God board early, you kind of just get fucked, and it can be really hard to. Yeah, maybe you get your Cocytus, but then you start losing your other lanes, and the Cocytus starts to shrink, and then they get over it. It can be a little awkward if you have to like crash your other lanes, maybe.
Because Bofuri can run 8.
This always stays big.
They get to be a lot more loose.
Yeah, in my experience, Bofuri runs 6 or more standby triggers in a deck, and 4 of this card, and they just come at you repeatedly all game and sit at 10k for free.
Yeah, and the second you lose a lane, they start ramping stock. Like, if they win 1 lane, the stock starts going up.
Yeah, I guess how should I put it? Like, I think the difference between 10k and 10.5 is a lot bigger. Is almost negligible, while the difference between this always being at 10k and your Cocytus maybe being at 75 is like a huge difference.
The act pump really makes it not matter even more, because you have it's a 1/1 level X that also has act give 1,000 anywhere. So like you might even be able to like win 2 lanes, and you have the stand and swap card to help protect this or throw it up into the front row if this went to your back row on your first level 1 turn, which is the normal case. This usually goes to your back row. Then if you have successive ones, they trigger to the front row. But you usually have the stand and swap in the front row by level 1 as well. So like you have ways to like get this into the front row, have it when it's laying on your opponent's turn, because it's too big for them to deal with, and then crack back and generate additional stock, which is always disgusting.
Yeah, the fact that you can split the backup power and the act power between 2 different characters too has screwed me on more than one occasion.
Yeah. The fact that you have stand and swap online at 1 means that people can't even like Adachi this away, because Adachi is becoming a like more normal profile for people to have, even in English. So like they can't even like try to level bomb it. You can run away. So yeah, I think it's really good for the deck. It enables some pretty disgusting stuff that we'll see later because it stock charges. I think I would give normal Cocytus like. This is like a B+, A- in there.
Yeah, that's about where
I thought this card was so boring when I saw it get revealed, and I think it is boring, but like, that doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah, it's
double rare.
Yeah, they wanted to make it an SP.
Was in a trial deck for free. This is double rare.
I have an SP. Cracked.
$30.
Is it $30 now?
Something like that. Might be 50.
Discussion point. Is it like these profiles are printing these a lot more often, like the whole Cocytus profile, like Fate Babylon has it.
This is the third one.
Overlord has it. It seems like they're making them a lot more often now. You think this is like the next generation of the 2/2 standby target, right? I personally think these are better than the hand-on core 10.5s.
Either this or shit like Toka, where they have like weird like benefits for winning board in some way, where like the Toka is like you rearrange top 2 when you get a reverse. We're gonna start seeing cards where
I think anything's better than hand-on core, because your card's so big anyway, it shouldn't be dying. And if it is gonna die, use a backup and you don't die.
These days, yeah. It depends how much they decide to print level down, because when they print a lot of level down, which is also in this set, hand-on core becomes better.
Yeah.
If you're like playing mirrors, because it's just a straight up, you just trade card for card from hand, and nothing happens, which de-incentivizes you from doing it in the first place, which makes your level down dead. So it's like a back and forth, right? But we'll see. I agree.
This is a lot more threatening than a normal 2/2.
Oh yeah, you want to get this off the board.
Whatever.
Because when you lose board against this, your opponent starts ramping stock.
Yeah.
Like,
just gets hard to deal with.
And it's clean stock. But yeah, we can move on. I would agree. I think they're going to start printing stuff like this in Toka more. This is you, Brandon.
All right. So this is a pay 1 to run, it looks like.
Yeah. Run to back row.
Or of the back rows exclusively, so that's cute. And then when this is placed on the stage, wait, what? Wait, when your other character is placed on the stage from the waiting room, this is in your back row, and you pay the cost. And If so, place that character rest in the slot it was in. Wait, I'm trying to read this right.
It's like the Conan in Love Live. Yeah, if they kill your card in the front row, you can sacrifice this to encore it. The other card.
I think it's cute.
That seems pretty good, actually. I really like this.
It's pretty cute. I do think it's worse than the other plusing 0 options just because stock ends up being such an issue in the deck. But maybe there's a deck that can run it effectively as like a 2-of, as like additional. They're just not dead early. They're not dead cards early, but then it's a field encore later.
Yeah.
So at first I didn't like this as much with the first effect because with standby I don't like run to back row and standby because your back row tends to get a little clogged. You want to leave your back row open so you can trigger a standby. But the fact that this is an alright standby target itself in a pinch, being able to put an encore on the field or to be able to save one of your big things makes it a lot more playable, I think. But I don't know. I still feel like maybe you could run it as a 1-of, but I feel like you want to leave your back row slots open in standby.
Yeah, maybe you play it in choice or something to protect your neg soul, but it's
your back
row. I was just thinking that. Yeah,
your back row's so fucking like your back row's hell in that deck. That's another problem with that deck. We were discussing some of the we've been doing like some smoke testing and like how Pants Choice has like a couple issues, and like the back row hell is definitely a big problem in that deck because you want to play the like level X to protect your maples, and then you also want to play the Conade to like bring your maples back, because this, when you're talking about the maple combo, the choice combo doesn't hold as much merit because the Conade is what you want to play because that makes it so you only have to win one lane with one of your maples to get your maple back the next turn.
To have them come back, yeah, exactly.
So unless you're gonna like give up your Brainstormer completely, it becomes like really hard to like get everything going in that deck. So I don't know if it has a place there, but it has a place somewhere. The card's fine. I think it's better than average for a niche card. Give it the C+.
I think C+ is what I'd give it to.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine.
It just feels like it's a good profile, but maybe it just maybe doesn't fit in perfectly into Bofuri. Maybe it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'd rather have this in like Love Live Sunshine or something, where they run such a low level 0 count that you desperately need to like conserve zeros sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Maybe in a deck like you early play a lot, but not with standby. Like maybe in a not standby deck, like Brian was saying, like if you're running the Maple Wall.
Or like any more traditional deck or something.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Next.
All right, next we got me again from the Me Shop channel. When this card's placed from the hand to your stage, choose a character in your opponent's front row, give it -1,000. Lovely. Also on play, you can pay 1, ditch 1, search for a game character.
A really fucking good drop search.
Drop searcher that gives -1,000 somewhere. I like it a lot. -1,000 is enough to like snipe off front rows early.
Yep.
Anything with a death effect's usually 1,000 or less, I would say.
It's potentially pretty relevant, yeah.
Good now can only get better as they print more overloaded level 0s.
Yep.
At worst.
You can run a lot of copies of it and not feel too bad about it because it's a good early because it snipes their level 0s and sets up your 1 combo. It's a perfectly good salvage target later in the game too. It's just like a hand to field, win battle. Like a battle trap kind of.
I think this is just a really fucking good drop search. I don't think this is Kokoro tier, but I think it's pretty close, at least for the current meta. Like, this is another.
It's more defensive. It's like a defensively statted Kokoro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The power pump and like killing something's more of like a grindy plan, where Kokoro is more about.
Because of where I think English will be going, I'm giving this the A-. I think that the -1,000 will become more relevant rather than less relevant as the way the game is tracking in general with how cards are being printed. The -1,000 power at the 0 game is like
especially in
relevant.
It's like standby. Think of it this way too. Like if there's a lot of standby mirrors, and you're saying like standby mirrors, you need to win field. That's super important.
The -1,000 is always good.
You can like play this down from hand, neg 1,000 their big card, and then search your deck for another way to like pump power to make sure you get over them even with their backup.
They can get incremental, yeah.
You could like play like if you have a way to like give 1,500 or 2,000 on play or something, or like a.
I mean, that's why similar to the
Shimakai or something else. You can search up one of those and combine it with the minus 1,000. Or just chain these together. Play this, neg 1,000, search another one. Play it, neg 1,000, search another one.
Yeah, I mean, you totally could.
A little bit loose, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a line. Like, you can. I think the big thing with Kokoro, right, is that the Kokoro was a drop search. It just like also had a really good on play effect. Like just I get 2 souls for existing. I think this is similar utility in a different way, and like those cards are always good. So, card's good.
Yeah, definitely helpful.
All right, next card.
All right, we've got this Misery. Level 0, rest this card. If it doesn't have a marker under it, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card is level 1 or higher, put it face down underneath this as a marker. Then it can rest itself again to put a marker from this card into your stock. So it's bad potion making Rimuru.
Yeah,
it's level 0 though.
I think this makes it suck. Potion Maker's only good because despite being slow, he's like a toolbox that like
hold up.
Coin flipping for a card, and I know what you're gonna say. What if we use cards to rearrange the top of our deck to get the thing under it or something like that?
You have to reveal top. It's not from
yeah. If it was from waiting room for free, I'd be like, hell fucking yeah, jam this card in. That'd be so safe. If it was anything to make it guaranteed, the coin flip kills it for me.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah, the coin flip isn't as makes it less playable. Because I was just comparing it to the one from Slime. I'm like, if you could get that, you never really use the heal effect on the Slime card anyway. It's really more about stock generation. So being able to start like turn 1 with it would be really nice. But
yeah, this is
I usually don't mind coin flips.
You're not even guaranteed to get the marker either.
Nope.
Yeah, that's why it's like the coin flip kills it.
The fact that like it's a 2 even if it succeeds, it's a 2-turn process to get 1 stock.
Right.
I could
and
just
then when you start failing, it becomes a 3-turn, 4-turn process, and it's like you're lucky to get a stock off it sometimes.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with Brandon. I think it's like on paper it seems like it could work, but
probably
have to jump through like way too many hoops to make it work. Seems like a real trap.
Next,
I think this is me, right?
No, it's my turn.
Carmen, yeah.
Oh,
this is Chiuri for level 1 or higher cards. So when it dies, when it goes to the waiting room from your stage, you discard any card, and then you check up the top 4 for a level 1 or higher card. Notably can add events. Put it in your hand, put the rest in the waiting room. So this can add events, notably the Wooly event. Like, it would be the main thing that you'd be looking to add here. I don't think we've seen any other big heavy hitter events. I guess the 3/3 event as well, the 3/3 event. The 3/3 event and the Wooly event would be what you would be adding with this. And that's also some deck control. So, yeah.
It's a good profile to have.
Lossless deck control. Good card.
Talking about game design again, it seems like, just like with the 2/2 hand-on cores kind of moving towards these stock generator 2/2s, I kind of feel like the whole Chiuri profile shifting too. Because, like, all of them nowadays are like discard a card, look at however many cards, get a level 1 or higher card. So you can grab events, but you can't grab level 0s, where Chiuri's used to always just be grab a character.
Grab anything, yeah.
And I wonder if these are better or worse.
I feel like every set's lately has been having a lot of Chiuri's. That's like a...
Adventure Time also got one.
They did.
Yeah, but they're always like this profile, though. It's not like...
True Chiuri.
Like the Megamine you play in Konosuba, Brandon, where it's just grab a character.
Yeah.
Grab magic, yeah.
I like
character, yeah.
I kind of like this one better, actually.
It depends.
I think on paper it reads stronger because you're like, well, I can actually play event cards now. That's really cool. Which is really cool.
The fail case feels terrible.
It does.
But I feel like one of the benefits of a Chiuri is... Oh, I'd give this card a B, by the way. I think
just don't run 4 of it. If you're worried about it fizzling, don't run 4.
I don't know if it's about it fizzling or failing. I think it's more like one of the benefits of a Chiuri is if you're stuck on level 0s, you can get yourself another turn at level 0. You can mill into another 0.
Yeah, that is where they can be really
these
strong.
New school ones don't let you do that.
They only let you play ahead at level 0. They don't let you play for the next level 0 turn.
Like, assuming you're getting knocked from 0 to 1, it's fine, but let's say you're canceling some attacks or your opponent's trying to level lock you or something, it restricts you a little bit.
Yeah, I think I typically play these as like 2-ofs, like kind of how they play it in Slime.
Yep.
But like when it's normal Cheery, like in South 10th or whatever, I play like 3 or 4, depending on what I'm trying to do, because it's like useful no matter what. But
it depends how many events you run too. I feel like once there comes out a set that's like really, really event heavy, maybe like Kaguya or something that's like really, really event heavy, and they have a card like this, it could really shine. Yeah. You have like an event toolbox.
Rest in peace, No Game No Life.
Yeah, I'd kill for this card. I'd kill someone. I'd actually kill someone.
You'd eat them just like Maple. All right. Speaking of Maple eating people, all right, Brandon, you got this one.
Right, Brandon, I have this card for you. I found another one.
I pulled 2 of them. So, anyways, this is a boss monster, and when it's placed, it gets 3,000 power. You can pay 1 at a climax, and it has this Oonga Boonga climax combo here, where pay 6, ditch 2, throw away the climax. When your opponent becomes reversed, you deal 1, deal 2, and deal 3. Does it have to be in that order or no?
It does.
Yes.
Interesting.
This card is pretty dank.
It is very dank.
Yeah, I've been playing this as like 2 of the climax and like 1 or 2 of this card in standby. You can get it off pretty much every game. You need 3 stock before you go to attacks, and you have so much stock from Misery pumping you all game that all you have to do is like make sure your opponent wins 1 lane going into the finisher, and like because you get the climax out of it, like you trigger a door, you know where the door is in stock, you can like pay down to it and then pay 1 and grab it.
You could just run like a really like greedy climax lineup. The fact that this grabs its own climax is really dank.
It grabs any CX.
Grabs any climax.
Climax.
Yeah.
But like you could just run like imagine this. You run like the Sally combo with the pants, right?
Yep.
So it already gives you more climax access, and then you run maybe like the Maple Soul Wall or something with like 3 choices, and then you run like you tech a gate into your deck, and then you have an actual finisher too.
I mean, you don't even need to tech a gate. You can just play the card to help grab your finisher climax in a more traditional deck, especially one with the Cocutus where you have 1 million stock to spare.
Yeah, I was gonna say it too. You don't even have to be running this climax combo. Just throw 1 at your deck to make sure you always have your climax combo.
Yes, that's a lot of stock to pay to grab a climax, though.
Yeah.
I mean, grabbing a climax is pretty strong.
Yeah.
On play cantrip for climax, probably worth costing 1.
Yeah, it's also a 2 soul beater for 2 that sits at 12-5 on the turn it's played, so it swings in big anyway. Double duty.
12-5, 13-5 with the climax.
Yep.
This seems like actually really solid. Like you were talking earlier, Carmen, about like, man, maybe we need a different top end in the standby deck. Maybe just run like 7 standbys, 1 gate.
I mean, that's what I've been doing.
Big bug.
6 standby, 2 gate is what I've been playing. After testing Pants Choice, I've been playing that, and it feels a lot better than it probably should. It does work. Deck runs, as they say. But yeah, cards a lot stronger than it might seem because of the Cocutus. You can really only go for the actual combo in that deck. You need so much stock because you have to have 9, right? You have to have 9 stock, or no. You gotta have 7 when you play this.
Yeah.
When this battle punch reverse, no, you need
6. You need 6. Yeah, you need 6.
It's not that much.
Tap all the way out. Yeah.
That's not that much if you're running hard and standby and Cocutus.
Yeah.
Or again, if you're just teching this as like a 1-of or something, it's like
it is a terrible level 3 to stand by to the board though. Has no value being stood by to the board.
Well, whatever. In standby decks, you run a bunch of level 3s
you'll just get something else. Yeah.
Just run 1 of this asshole.
I mean, all the stock that you get from your Cocutus, however you pronounce it. I mean, all the stock you get from it will help pay for this too.
If anybody has SRs of this, hit me up on Discord. Please sell them to me. I hate looking at the base rarity art of this card.
Oh, does it have alternate art super rare?
It's just like Maple, like pre-transformation. So I don't have to look at the big bug.
This is Maple?
Yeah, it's Maple.
Yeah, this is Maple.
What?
She's a monster. She's an angel. She's Godzilla. She's a robot.
She's a cockroach.
Yep.
Well, it's more like a Godzilla monster.
Thought she put all her points in defense.
We thought that too. The whole show is like just her trolling everyone with like broken abilities.
Andy, it's Robert when he plays D&D.
Oh my god.
All right,
she's overpowered as fuck.
Next card. Back to Andy.
All right, we got my girl me again. Dun 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 dun. With this place from the hand stage, you can put the top card of your clock into the waiting room. Heals on play. We love that here in Pittsburgh. We love healing on play. When this card's placed to the stage via the effect of Guildmaster of Kingdom of the Flame Emperor, which I'm assuming is that climax.
Yep.
You can discard 3 characters. If you do, stand it immediately. This is very much like the thing Kimono Friends, like the lion.
Yeah, the lion. Yeah,
right?
it's like lion. Yep.
That's a very steep cost, though.
Lion is like pay 2, ditch 1 or something. This is like ditch 3 characters.
I don't like this card.
It's very.
I don't either. As a one of maybe because it's also a healer, but like dear God, that is a lot.
But you're not even getting the heal if you stand by it, which is what.
No.
It's just a vanilla 10k if you stand.
Let me ask you this, right? So I don't know a ton about Kimono Friends. You play a good bit with Dean, Carmen, and I know Zach has played this combo too.
I was gonna say I played more into Zach playing this than Dean. Dean usually has played something.
What are their thoughts on it? Because I feel like it reads not very good, but I feel like
Zach does like the lion.
Likes the combo.
Zach does like the lion. I don't know what Dean thinks about the lion. When Dean starts talking about Kimono Friends, I start to.
It just brain turns off.
I start to go catatonic. But like I know Zach does really like the lion, but if I'm remembering correctly, the lion has a much more reasonable cost that also pays out the standby that triggered it. Because that's when this is good, is like when you incidentally trigger the standby and you just like get another attack. You just get a 4th attack.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it comes out, it can get when you play it, the standby, or when it gets triggered from the standby.
When you trigger
I didn't realize that.
That's why the lion is good, but the lion also pays out the standby that was triggered. I'm almost completely certain. Ditch 3 characters is a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem with like a standby deck is you're winning board, so you usually have a lot of stock because you don't need to save your stuff or play more stuff.
But if you're not if you're not if you're not stacking brainstorms, you're usually going under in hand with like 8 standby decks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're winning board and not having to play anything.
Yeah, but a lot of the times with standby decks, you're like trying to ditch cards to stand by them. If you're playing 8 standby, right, which like leads to you like bleeding a little bit early. You regain it later, but like I don't know. This is still. I would much rather this had a stock cost rather than a hand cost.
It's a little sketchy, yeah.
Maybe, but even still, like being able to have it like. Maybe not for the mid game, but like on your actual kill turn, like, oh, I triggered a standby on my kill turn. We're getting an extra attack now.
Yeah, that's why I think it's fine as like a one of if you have the space. Like this is in my grave, or I can set it into my grave somehow. If I trigger a standby going into attacks, if I know the standby's in there, we can go for that. But I don't think it's a great card. The baseline of it being a healer makes it a lot better. I think if this wasn't a healer, I'd be giving it the fat D. But you know, is what it is. All right. Anything else about this one?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
All right.
You, Brian.
This guy's name is Marcus, I think.
Marcus. I think it is Marcus. Yeah. Something like that.
When this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, choose one of your opponent's characters, and for the turn, that character cannot pop back to hand or be sent to memory. Sorry, Slime, and Attack on Titan and Konosuba. And it's a level 0 bomb. Reverse bomb.
I like it.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
It's spicy, yeah. It's the start of
positioned.
It's the start of something great, but I don't think it's quite
Yeah,
there.
I don't think this is the card that makes this effect good.
Doesn't it though? I mean, level 0 Suiciders are good enough. You could make a case to just running 4 copies of this in your deck.
I hate bombs, dude.
I could make a case for just running 4 copies of this in your deck, just to have access to that effect. The floor is like a pseudo plussing 0. I'll call it a pseudo plussing 0.
It's not a 0. It's not a plussing 0.
Pseudo plussing. At least
it trades. It trades.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's a 1-for-1.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We love trading.
It's like, okay, I think that it's only a consideration if your meta is truly nothing but Obro. Because I don't think the memory thing for English is if we were reviewing this in like the context of JP where everything is da capo, I definitely give it a bigger score.
I don't know. I think it's getting maybe to that point. The fact of
it's not to that point yet.
Slime, right? Mm-hmm. You lock Slime off of getting their Shizus in memory. Like they don't have a level 2, right? So sometimes they have trouble getting that stuff in there. You can like side one of their Shizus, play this, run over their other one, and now they don't have their condition.
You could.
Seems actually really easy. I feel like it's really easy to lock Slime off of their condition if you play for it.
If you have the right cards to be able to keep up your advantage while denying.
Yeah, but it's just like the fact that this is a level 0 and it's like a good enough card that you could actually like not feel bad about running. Like I wouldn't feel great about running 4 of this, but I mean,
for English,
the worst case scenario, it's when two of the best decks in English are going to be Konosuba, some variation running the Oboro combo, and Attack on Titan's still a fucking good deck.
But I think that the fact that it is a level 0 is what makes it worse for English. I think the fact that it's a level 0 for JP is fine because Da Capo is a problem, and all of Da Capo's level 0s go to memory. So this card directly plays against Da Capo.
Yeah, check it out too. Turn 1.
Wait, let me finish.
Against their overloaded cards.
Well, yeah, let me finish. I think that because going into English, I think the fact that it is a level 0 bomb makes it actively worse. If this was a level 1 bomb, I would like it a lot better. Because
I agree. Yeah.
Putting it down at level 1 to say, okay, my opponent's Obro doesn't work. Now I crash into their other Obro, so they plussed anyway. Cool. Like, I don't think that's worth it from like a deck building concession. I think if it was a level 1 for English, it would be a lot better. I think that it's a fine card in JP. For English, I don't think this is the card that's worth playing.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not yet. Maybe not yet, but it's going to age well.
Yeah, it'll age. Yeah, you're right. It will age well.
The fact that Bofuri has this effect is pretty good, and it's okay in certain matchups against like Adventure Time with Wildberry Princess at level 0. It's perfectly fine against Slime. It's fine against Konosuba. It's pretty good. So it has its it has potential. The card has potential.
And trigger word.
I think this card's already good enough. You could just run 4 copies.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, actually.
I don't like how it would play out on your level 1 turn against what it's supposed to tech against. Like, doesn't do enough against what it's supposed to be hating on because it's a level 0. It could be a level 1, like, 5k with not a second line. It would be
I guess, but you just run 4 of it, so
why?
You just have it.
Why would you ever run 4 of this card that's this narrow?
I don't think it's that narrow. That's kind of like my argument on it. I don't think it's narrow at all. I think the fact that it's a level 0 bomb makes it. You can run 4 copies.
I don't respect the second line of text. I think it's a I think level 0 reversers are trash cards. I think if it was a level 0,
the fact that it at least trades 1-for-1 at level 0.
If this was a zone bomb,
makes me run 4 copies.
If this was any other color and was less power, maybe I'd be inclined to agree. But the fact that it is a level 0 1500 power reverser actively makes it a worse card. The fact
1500 makes it good though at killing the memory cards. You turn off their undead zeros that go to memory. They don't usually crest 1,000.
But there aren't many of those in English. Is what I'm saying. There's one. Mm-hmm. There's one of them in English.
Yeah, this card wants to play against like the Wildberry Princess, like the JC from Saikano. Those are the kind of cards this card wants to hit. But
yeah, but there's literally just Wildberry.
Yeah,
literally Wildberry in English right now. That's it. Like, if there was more of a problem like that, like, again, I think I would be more on Andy's side if this was if we were reviewing it for JP. Because for JP, this card's
nuts. We've been playing a lot of mixed lately.
Like, for JP, this card is like, yeah, you probably want to run 2 of it if you're running into a JB meta, because, like, at least, because, like, fuck the Capo. I hate that set now. Like, that's so goddamn obnoxious. So, like, that's a big reason to play this. But for English, I don't think we're there yet. I hope we never get there. It's very annoying level 0 game to play into. Because, like, you guys thought Saikano was bad. You guys have never seen Da Capo. Shit is insane.
Yeah, I don't think Da Capo's coming to English.
Yeah, I hope not.
Don't worry about it. I don't even know what Da Capo is. Like, what the hell is Da Capo?
It's porn.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess. Alright. Is this me? Okay, we got this guy. He's, is this the guy that fights with, the knives? Is that him?
Oh, yeah, the sword that splits into a million pieces, I think.
Yeah, it, like, splits into a bunch of knives, and he stands there and laughs. Something.
This guy looks like fodder.
A little bit, yeah. Everybody's fodder than the Maple team. So none of your characters can side attack, and then he's a chaser. He's 3,500 power.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty okay.
It's all right, yeah.
This is another one of the cards that the me brainstorm makes more obnoxious than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these cards, like, it's like this, the Mill Runner, and the level 0, 500 Maple, it's 45 off turn. Like, a lot of these cards just become really stupid with the me brainstorm. Not that this card needs that to, like, work. This card's totally fine on its own. No level for English kind of sucks because you can't.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Can't deny the side attack like Goblin Slayer can.
Yeah, but I think it's probably fine. Perfectly playable, but I probably wouldn't choose to run this, but maybe.
Yeah, he does deny side attacks, just his own though.
Well, yeah, it's on your side of the field.
Right. Yeah, he denies your side attacks. He's working against you.
Because he's too busy throwing the knives or whatever.
I guess.
All right, next card.
Oh, this card's sick.
All right, so this is a 1/1 3000. Don't know her name. Priest girl.
Misery.
She basically she's revenge. What are you gonna call it? Revenge trigger. You can double brainstorm her to salvage climaxes.
Pay 2 restless. For each climax, salvage a climax.
That's
Have you seen this before?
No, never. This is like
salvage
brain. Or no. Gigaunt Shooter has this profile.
The thing that's weird about this card is like, so you're gonna be out of climax, and so you're less likely to hit more climaxes. It's like
you would also never want to salvage multiple climaxes. Like, you would not want multiple climaxes back. You would want one climax. You would want a specific climax.
Right.
I think the argument's like the bug, like Bug Daddy, where you just like, I'm trying to get my climax.
Yeah, but that's the same cost as
mill
this.
The climax, and you can take the one you just milled.
I guess, but like the Maple Atrocity, you just play for 3. This is like I have to pay 1, and then I have to pay 2, and maybe get my climax back.
It mills 4. Deck speed.
I think the revenge.
But this is also a standby target.
Yes, it is a standby target.
I think the revenge is the best part of this card. It incidentally sometimes maybe gets you a climax you want.
Yeah, I think the revenge is crazy. Though. Well, yeah, you don't want to get reversed ever.
Would you rather have like a rolling power in standby, because you shouldn't be losing field in standby?
Yes, that's what I was going to mention. It's like it wants to be a card that's standby, but it also doesn't want to be in an 8 standby deck. It's like a 4 standby deck card.
You know what I like it in? I like it in Sally standby, Pants standby, where you have like, if for whatever reason, like you stand by this at level 0, and then going into your level 1 turn, you don't have your pants, and you clock and draw, and you still don't have it, you can like roll the dice with this and try to get into it. I actually really like that.
I don't know.
I think you run this card as like a 1-of at most.
I don't know. The revenge is like the only cool part about the card, but like I don't know how. That's a lot of revenge power, but I don't know how this set's supposed to leverage it, because it's really good at holding board, which means that part doesn't see anything, and then the other decks like never win on the other turn because they're all attack power. Like everything's all maxed out in one direction or another. It's almost like there's some flavor going on. Whoa. Set design. The card's interesting.
That's a word for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't standby, dude, I'm telling you. That's the deck for it.
Just empty standby?
No, like pants into... I guess you have the me that I talked about.
The lion?
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know.
I guess.
Alright, next.
Maybe you play the level 1 standby combo you hate into something else. Woo!
Dear God.
I like that. I like that.
Kill me.
I do, I like it.
End me.
Okay, anyway, we got this maple backup. When you use the backup, you can discard 2 cards. Choose one of your opponent's characters higher than level and send it to their memory.
Wow, it's just like slightly better anti-change counter.
Ain't never getting that card back.
You're right.
Well,
it's like the Megamine cost, right? Like the Shaken Megamine, like discard 2 cost.
It's just a normal 2/1 anti-change.
You can discard anything with it, which is nice, but the fact that it just sends to memory right away, like they can't encore it or do any shenanigans. It's just gone.
I mean, I think this is better than just 2/1 waiting room ditch 2s by like a small amount. I think the cost is what makes it terrible. The cost, like I think they could do anything, but the cost is what makes them really bad. But at least this is slightly better. Very slightly.
Yeah, your opponent can just play around this too by like swinging with their high level card first, and then it's like the backup is like negligible then because you're just exiling their character anyway. So it's like 1 stock and 3 cards. Yeah. You're 3 for 1ing yourself.
Yeah, so C+ for slightly better than a normal anti-change counter.
I think this is still the best anti-change counter in the set, right? Or the only one?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, they don't really need to play for anti-change, I don't think.
Yeah.
Dude, how am I supposed to get all these extra copies of my cards in my hand when I have to keep discarding them?
Yes.
For bullshit effects like this. It's ridiculous.
Next.
All right, we've got this me 2/1 10k power. When this card front attacks, you can pay 1 stock. If you do choose one of your opponent's characters, it gets -1 level for the turn. And when this card becomes reversed, you can bomb that card if it's level 2 or lower, reverse it. So it can drag a level 3 down to level 2 and bomb it.
For 2 stock, though.
So instead of playing a Dachi, you can just pay 2. And you can only reverse everything. I'd like this a lot better if it was like a zone bomb.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you can...
Or you could just play your own early play and beat over theirs.
I mean, hey, you can do that at level 3 to guaranteed kill.
Sure.
This card seems like...
If you absolutely need to kill it for some reason,
I don't think I like this.
But no, it's not great. It's funny, but it's not great.
It's a card that's trying to say, hey, look, I'm modular, and it's just worse than running a more narrow card. Like, just like so much worse than running a more narrow card, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk you into it.
Because it's a reverse.
I look at this card, and I'm focusing on the first line of text. And I'm thinking, like, you know, it would be sick when I'm, like, trying to, like, close a game out, and I could lower their level 3 down to a level 2 and get a side attack for 1.
You could. That is a thing you could do.
That's some other utility with it. You can, like the level down doesn't have to be just for bombing.
But like...
You can actually, like, funnel it into your kill turn if you want. Like, stand by it to your back row, and then, like, push it forward next turn.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, but I think that if you want to deal modular damage, there's a really cool climax combo in the set that deals perfect damage. And, like, not much of a reason to run this card.
Oh my god, shut up. That's, like, super build around, though, right?
It's like, sure.
You tack this in.
Sure, but, like, I don't know. That's too cute for me. I can't, like, rely on my opponent having the, like, right level cards on field for it to make it worth it. Which,
I mean, doesn't that just make your anti-change bomb more useful at more stages of the game, though?
No, because it's a reverse. Reverse doesn't mean anything right now. It's gotta remove the card from the field if you're gonna play something.
But if we're getting to the point though where the standby threats people are running are these 2/2s that don't have Hand Encore, but instead have effects like Cocutus or Toka.
Sure, but
this gets a lot better.
But then I would just play a card that had a different effect that wasn't just a level 2 bomb. Whereas, like, this is a reverse, because, like, the reverse is the part that's bad. I don't like that this is a reverse. I would be more willing to entertain this card if it was not red. If it was any other color but red.
If it's sent to another zone, I'd like it better too, but hey, at the end of the day, you're still making them pay 3 for it if they want to encore it, which is something.
Only if you're playing into the right set. They have Hand Encore, they have, like, Conan, just useless.
Well, yeah, I was talking more like if, it was something like a Toka or a Cocutus, like you force them to have to, like, pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But we're probably not at that point where you play this card yet, but someday.
Someday. All right, we got this Maple. If there are 2 or more Sally Oceanware, which is this blue card, your waiting room, this gets -1 level on your hand. And then when it's played to the stage from your hand, you may pay 1 to summon that Sally Oceanware from your waiting room to any slot of your stage. I hate the first condition.
That seems like a really bad early play, actually. Like, probably the worst one I've ever seen.
It's a really bad condition.
Well, what's the Sally do?
It doesn't matter.
Gives your opponent's character +4 soul and can't side attack.
I think what the Sally is irrelevant.
It's almost irrelevant. Mostly because I think at that point in the game, it's too risky to throw that effect out. Somewhere.
I'd like it better if it was, like, aggressively costed. If it was like a Yo burner. You know what I mean?
They're never doing that again.
Yeah.
They'll never do that again. That's why
that'd be hella dope.
That's why they make these profiles shit now, because, like, they're just so spooked off ever printing it. These cards can never be good.
Okay, well, maybe not a Yo, but just something more aggressively slanted. Maybe a Musashi or, like, a on attack burn or on reverse clock kick or something.
Never.
I feel like this works with an aggressively slanted profile, but with a defensively slanted profile like this, I don't like it as much.
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst uncommon early play. Play the green one instead. Green one was dope. This card's bad.
I do like these, like, uncommon level 3s that are fine cards though.
Yeah, I suppose.
As, like, if you're trying to, like, get into the game and update your trial deck and stuff like that, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, they're good for.
It's still a strong early play. The Sally's, like, fine.
No, yeah, the cards are fine. They're just not fantastic.
I think this card sucks.
I mean, if you're just updating a trial deck and, other people are like, yeah, here, you can have this chaff. And it's like, dang, I got four Maples and 4 Sallys now. Let's update that trial deck.
Yeah, at least does something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Good pack filler.
Next. It's you, Brandon.
It's me? I thought it was you.
No.
Oh.
Well, it is me.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is when you place it, discard card, bring a level 0 from your waiting room stage. Card's horrible.
I hate
these. Cartoons.
I hate these profiles. Like, they print them all the time. I hate them.
In this set, this card's bad. I've played sets where this card is so important that the deck doesn't work without it. My fingers on the F. This card is
I was there too.
No, this card turns dead cards in your hand into attackers, which sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think it's that though.
Fine, I'll upgrade it to a D-.
Oh, why wouldn't we just play that drop searcher? That's really good though.
Well, Andy, there are some sets that when they have this card, they summon level 0s that do something when they die and don't have on play effects, which can, like, be very important if you're trying to hit, like, memory thresholds or something. This isn't one of those sets, but, like, the profile has the ability to be good. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not good
with death effects like Chiori's and stuff. It's still a bit narrow for me. It's a 1045.
Yeah, like the effect is. I think the effect is costed appropriately. It's a lot stronger than people give it credit for when they read it. It plays better than it reads, but in this set, it's not worth it because you only have like 2 hits on this, I think. And it's like the Maple Cheery and like the card where you have pay 1, stack itself, top check 4, add 1. So it's like gives you like it, but that's like way too much to like pay to get that effect. So there's no good targets for this effect in this set.
You know how like the F key and the D key are right next to each other? Oh, the C key is there too. Like I'm like hovering. My fingers on both keys right now. Why'd you give it a C, Brian? Why are you in the C's?
I'm mainly there just because I think this card has cases where it can be good. I think Carmen's in the right here, though. There aren't enough good targets to hit with this card, but when this profile is good, it is good. There might be some card that we're overlooking that this card can hit, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it does anything in this set.
Yeah, it might be closer to a D for this set, but the profile I don't think is all that bad.
Okay, fair enough.
Put your rating in, Andy.
I think I'm gonna go slid over to D, but I'm gonna give it the minus like Brandon.
All right, back to Andy.
Is this me again?
Yep.
Like the character me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
Me twice.
When this card is placed from hand to stage, it gets 500 power times the number of your game characters counting itself. So on a full field, if this is your full field card, it shoots to 7k. On play, choose one of your opponent's characters. And for the turn, it can't go to memory or be sent to hand.
Yeah, all right. What did I give? What did I give Marcus? What did I give Marcus? I gave Marcus a C. This card's a C+.
Would you cram 4 copies of this in your deck now?
No, I would
not. What about for
standby? I would consider running 1.
I'd feel like 2 maybe, but yeah, this card is better than Marcus because it combats the Oberos and Aaron a little bit better.
Yeah, if I wanted to really hate on like literally everyone playing like Psychono or some shit, like I would run one of this as a tech card because it like also swings over the Oberos, which I think is like really important.
Swing over Oberos, yeah.
You can play it to an empty board and it swings over Obero because it'll count itself.
I still think a Zero Bomb's more relevant in like the matchups where it's not relevant, if that makes sense.
I just think I think we already talked about it.
In the matchups where the memory or pop back denial is irrelevant, the level bomb is a better profile. like a Suicider is a better profile than a 7k.
I just realized why I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was trying to figure what you're talking about and realized I'm on the wrong card. Like, what are you guys talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think either of these cards are the cards that like are true anti-memory. Like there's going to be something out there that has this effect, and it's like none of your opponent's board can go back, and it's like a mode on an event or something stupid.
This is definitely Boucherid testing the waters here, but I think this is a decent start for the profile.
Yeah, they're printing counterplay, which is good, instead of like going crazy with the Banhammer this time. No fates this time around. All right, next card.
All right, we've got this Maple. Wow, it's Celica on guard. Broken card, standby target sits at 7,500, has hand on core.
It always has the encore, which makes it slightly better or worse. Depending.
Makes it better.
Yeah, it's a playable standby target, especially in a set that is inclined to run a lot of standby triggers.
Also doesn't have like a full field condition or something stupid. You can have like 4 cards on board. You can lose a lane in the standby deck and not have your board fall apart no matter what you have on board, which is part of what has made the standby deck feel really good. Is like I'm shitting out these 1/1s, and even if I'm crashing a level 0 or something, or my level 0 gets run over or removed from the board, it doesn't like completely destroy my board, which has felt like really, really good compared to other like 8 standby decks I've played that rely on like full field conditions for power and things like that. So I think it's good for the deck.
Yeah.
All right. Got this other Maple. It's a 2/1. When this plays from hand to stage, all of your opponent's characters gets minus 1,000 power. It is a 2/1 500 power. The 1 cost minus 1,000 your opponent's whole board.
Only 1 soul though.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This card, I don't think this card's very good because I think at this point in the game it doesn't even matter.
What is this kill outright? Like in the back row that we hate. Like, what is this kill that we hate?
Not much.
This is back row too.
Most brainstorms sit at like between 1,500 and 2,500.
What's ambushing you? Is she 15 or 1,000?
I think she's 1,500.
Do we care about ambush anymore though?
I know. I'm just thinking about like back row threat cards that you would, at any point in like English history, like strain yourself to remove. Because like you can't kill like Armin with this in any way. You'd have to play 7 of it in a turn.
Being able to kill like
Errant Brainstorm is 1,000, right?
I think.
Maybe if this nagged like 1,500 and you could play 2 of them to kill like a Rico Brainstorm or Rico.
Rico's 35, isn't she?
Oh, she's 35. Oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, she's fucking absurd.
I don't think this card kills anything. Anything that we want to kill. Not that I can think of. So I'm gonna.
This ain't Little Bomber. It's no Aerosmith.
Yeah, too bad the set isn't JoJo.
Aerosmith is a lot better than this card. Words I'd never thought I'd say for 1,000. But here we are. That's not fair to Aerosmith. Aerosmith is actually a good card. Okay, next.
All right, this is me. So we got this event/backup that choose one of your game characters, and for a turn it gains 2,500 power. Send this to memory, and you can recollect it. And at the beginning of your main phase, by ditching a card, put this back into your hand from your memory. Oh man, this card seems busted.
It's pretty shit.
It's busted. No, it's busted.
Pretty bad.
It's you reuse it every turn.
Yeah, it's horrible 2,500. If this were an act ability and you could get act power off of
it's because it doesn't kick to act power. Because you have act power on the board, your 2k backup is a 3k backup, and then this you're paying 1. And it really devalues the card.
I still think the fact you can literally use this every turn.
Yeah, you have to ditch a character. I would like this a lot better if you could ditch anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Ditch a character is pretty rough.
I guess you can get like standby targets out of your hand, maybe.
Well, these are. We can literally reference Adventure Time.
It seems very worth it.
The Remember You event is really good because if you're forced to clock draw and you draw climaxes, you can immediately recycle an errant climax into Remember You, which then turns itself into an attacker. In the worst case scenario.
Remember You is one of the best feeling cards in Adventure Time, I think.
You just don't have the option with this to do that, which I think inherently makes it so much worse. Because it does not have the ability to turn any junk card into a usable card.
What if I told you that Reincarnated as a Slime has this exact card?
Yes, it does.
And it's named Mask, and it's also bondable by Chloe.
Yes.
And no one plays it.
No one plays it.
Which I think is crazy. I think they should play it as a one-of. I'm kind of with Brandon. I think this card's like actually pretty alright.
I think if I could ditch it, can that card you ditch a climax to grab it? Or is it also ditch
I'm not sure in Slime's case. But I do like the fact that I feel like a 2,500 backup's like.
If it kicked Ack, I'd agree.
How should I put it? I like it better in Slime where you can bond to it. And just run it as a one-of, and then put it in memory, and then pull it back out if you want it.
We have
that's comparing Slime to oranges here.
Yeah, I just checked. The Slime one is ditch a climax, add it back to hand.
Oh, so that one's just better than this.
Yeah, the Slime one's better.
This is
and you can bond to the Slime one. I think this is like all right though. Still, I think there's a case for it.
We have the mill counter
if you want to.
We have the mill counter though. If we're talking about counters that I would pay 1 for, like we have a 2K that becomes a 3K, and then our 3K becomes a 4K, with Act, and I'm paying 1, and this doesn't kick to Act, and the recycle condition's bad. It's like a C double minus. It's not an unplayable card, but not I would not play this card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why people would like it. I don't think that line of thought is bad. Because I think
there's some other way to get it. I mean, you have like your
Chiuri,
new school Chiuri that your Neo Chiuri that will like
Neo Chiuri, Baller Chiuri. Is that Baller Chiuri?
I don't know. Like, well, what actually is the first card that had that profile?
No, it's just Chiuri. The first profile was Chiuri from Excel World. But
but she didn't grab level 1 or higher cards.
Oh yeah, but is level 1 or higher cards, is that Baller or is that worse? Is it a Baller Chiuri?
I don't actually know what people call this effect. I think Baller Chiuri is fine.
Is this Baller?
Zoomer Chiuri.
Baller counter. Zoomer Chiuri.
Zoomer Chiuri.
Just trying to bring back Baller, man. It's the funniest modifier. It's an effect.
It is. I do like
Baller check and wreck. All right, I think that's it for red. I think this is the last card. We will see you guys in blue.